How did you like the breakfast I made you?
I really can't eat in the morning. It's funny, honey.
What did you do with it?
I saved it for my lunch.
You didn't eat any of it?
I took 2 bites of it.
Did you put it in the fridge?
I don't need to put it in the fridge. It's
You're going to eat cold
bad.
eggs?
Yes, I'm fine with it at lunch.
Oh, my God, Catherine.
It's fine.
What else is going on with you guys? Haven't seen you in a while. How have you been?
I had a good day yesterday. My friend came to help me with some things. We took a walk together. I ran a concert, which always makes me feel better after we did a podcast. And then...
what makes you feel worse?
Not taking a 4-mile hike and not running a concert or not working on my lines.
Yeah.
If I do those 2 things, I feel that I have the rest of the day to do what I want. And I usually up at 6, but today I got up late. I only slept 12 hours, 7:30 to 7:30
Oh my God, this is just one of those things.
So I don't have enough sleep.
I've never slept 12 hours in my entire life.
12 hours is your minimum.
I passed out at 7:30 p.m. and I woke up at 7:30 a.m.
I think that's pretty relatable. I think most people shoot for at least 12 hours of sleep.
Well, I'm working with these kids all day. You know, my grandchildren. I'm just constantly doing things, and it exhausts me.
How many hours do you get a day, Mom?
I'm really thrilled if I get 7.
If you get 7?
I'm thrilled if I get 7.
When was the last time you got 12?
I've never gotten 12 in my entire life. And it used to drive me crazy when I was up with my babies through the night. And Dad would get up and he'd go, I got 10 hours.
Uh-huh.
And I'd be
or I got only 9. Or I got only 8 and I'm working on 4, you know. But you know what? Different people have different needs for sleep and rest. And I think Dad lives at a very intense
family motto, different
level.
strokes for different folks.
That's not a family
That's a
motto.
family motto?
Well,
That's
it was
the
our
first
family
time I've
motto.
ever heard that. Who's
No,
family? When you were growing up?
Yeah, Mom said it to the kids,
Only I said
to
it
you
in
and
a
your
million
brother
folks
all
for
the time.
different. I mean, I've heard
Different
that
strokes
said in the
for
world.
different folks. Different strokes for different folks.
You're
Are you kidding me? You never heard your mother say that?
I mean, I've heard everyone say.
Yeah,
No.
it's not
You've
a
heard it
special
from your
thing.
mother 100,000 times. I'm not going to argue this one because I'm 100% correct in my memory.
Right.
If you would
In
like
your
me to leave
memory.
the table and you both could talk to me about how I'm wrong,
I believe you are 100%
or-
correct in your memory.
there you go.
We can
There you
agree on that. For our first listener question today, we've got an email from Susan. And Dad, I'd love you to read that.
Hello, this is Susan, and I have a pet peeve. Why can't I buy just a few stalks of celery? Who on earth uses every piece in those large packages? All I want is enough for my tuna sandwich or my chicken soup. I have thrown out more celery than I have eaten. I live on the East Coast, so it may be an East Coast thing, but it's very annoying. Thank you for listening to me rant.
So, Mom and Dad, what's your take on celery?
I just want to suggest to Susan, first of all, it's a minor problem, Susan, but I think it's solvable. Do you have friends that you can share your purchase of celery with? That might be a good idea. Or is there a goat
Or she
farm?
could bring it to our house and it could rot with all the rest of the
That's
food
right.
that
We have a
forget
lot
to eat.
of good rotting celery. I hate celery, but my grandson likes to feed goats with it. So maybe you could find a nearby goat.
These are great solutions. Keep going, Mom.
A nearby goat
What
or a
else can help,
llama.
Susan?
A llama. They
Yeah.
like celery. So I would say
A llama or a goat is good.
find neighbors or neighborly animals that you can share your celery with, and look up on that great truth-telling thing called the internet and see if celery is actually good for you or not.
East Coast Llama Goat Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Celery-loving beast.
What if Susan lives in the middle of a city and she doesn't have access to goats or
Well,
llamas?
then knock on a neighbor's door and say, do you need some celery? Or,
Like in
I
an
don't know,
apartment building, just kind
can
of
you
go
freeze,
up and down the
can
elevator.
you freeze celery? Can you
seeing-
chop it up
sure.
and freeze
Why
it?
don't you try that? That's a great idea.
Well, why
hon.
not?
Yeah,
You freeze
exactly.
other vegetables.
Yeah, let's freeze some celery and see
I
what
think you
it's
could
like.
freeze celery.
I bet you could too, and
Why
he's
not?
making
Why not?
fun of me.
There's a
I'm
lot
not
of
making
water
fun.
in it.
Chop it up either give it to a neighbor, give it to a goat, chop it up and freeze it.
Put it in your drink
And
instead of ice
there you
cubes.
go.
Yeah, kind of a celery infusion. Although, Susan, I have to say, I've been around the world and I can say it's not an East Coast thing. It's celery is sold in those stalks, those clumpy stalks, everywhere. I think maybe people just eat more celery than Susan. But if you had the choice at the store, would you buy single stalks of celery, choosing the correct amount that you think is appropriate for your intentions?
Your mispronunciation the first time is what I can respond to. I do buy single socks.
Socks? I said
you
that
said
before?
single socks, and then you changed it to stalks of celery. But
I think
I think buy single socks.
Yes, because I lose one sock.
Where do you buy single socks?
From other fathers my age. Other fathers in their 70s.
There's a whole thing about unmatched socks, which was the rage.
I went to high school with a kid whose dad was big in the sock business.
Yeah.
And I never forgot that. It was always
such an unusual thing.
Yeah, what's your dad do? He's in the sock game, hosiery.
Because of everybody losing socks, a company was started, I think, by friends of mine. I'm not sure, of mix and match. They're purposely not matched socks.
Your friend has a company that sells
does what we do.
That's what we do as a family.
Is it a successful company?
I think so. I think it's quite successful.
What's it called?
Mix and match, but I'm not sure. I have to look that up.
I don't want to forget to make a different suggestion. The idea of celery and tuna salad.
I think freezing is really good.
Excuse me, my turn.
Yes.
The idea of celery and tuna salad, I'm not in favor of. I know it happens a lot. But I would recommend relish, or as we said in Chicago, piccalilli.
I hate that.
And do you have any particular item out of the fridge that you're struggling with these days, or it comes too large, or it's hard to cut? You're really bad at cutting an onion. We have to fix that for you.
Yeah. My friend Julia's wife said that she wanted to teach me how to cut an onion, and then I realized she must have seen that thing you put on social media where you said a lot of people were concerned about how I'm cutting an onion.
Yeah.
And, in fact, I am playing someone in a movie that I'll be making soon who's a master chef. So I have asked you to please coach me on the proper way to, hone my cutting skills.
I mean, I hope they have some resources to get you to master chef, because I can get you from person who looks like he's about to stab himself in his wrists to person who can cut an onion moderately safely. Playing,
we'll get a hand match stand-in who can do it, and they'll cut to his hands.
Gotcha.
Anyway, Susan, I hope these are helpful.
Yeah, I think we really just changed Susan's life.
I think we really changed your life regarding your relationship with celery.
You're welcome.
And, Susan, remember, you can eat more meat.
That's a great
That
point,
is
Dad.
really, yeah.
Get away from the vegetables.
Tired of celery? Try
meat.
Pork sausage.
You make my Uncle Shmuley happy. He used to
God.
raise red Angus cows. He's now in heaven. I'm not sure what he's raising up there.
Yeah.
Probably cows. Uncle Shmuley's heaven is definitely full of cows.
Yeah, full of red Angus cows.
It is.
Honestly, I'm kind of famous within my family and among my friends about how much I hate to cook. And Marley Spoon has been a game changer. I mean, it's genuinely changed how I cook at home. You get these pre-proportioned, fresh ingredients and chef-developed recipes. They're also unusual. And they're easy, even for somebody like me who finds anything to do with the kitchen totally intimidating. And I made this za'atar chicken. I'm so bored with chicken. I mean, we have it all the time, and it's always the same. Onions, a little salt, pepper, but their za'atar chicken with tahini and this special spice really was an exciting meal. And then the other day, Gid made something, and I thought he's a great cook, so I just assumed it was his. It was this shrimp recipe with this farro and this sauce and greens. I mean, it was fantastic. It didn't taste like sort of a packaged meal. It tasted like really fresh, delicious, original cooking. Something like a real cook would make. So this new year, fast track your way to eating well with Marley Spoon. Head to marleyspoon.com/offer/don't listen for up to 25 free meals. That's right. Up to 25 free meals with Marley Spoon. That's marleyspoon.com/offer/don't listen for up to 25 free meals.
We're not big drinkers here in the Patinkin household. We like healthy everything. But I do love the idea of a good cocktail. Recently, we've been talking in our family, and we tried Little Saints. It's a real cocktail experience, I'm telling you. This is the emes, that's Yiddish for the truth, without the alcohol. There is zero sugar. I like that because I'm trying not to have sugar. I'm working out every day. I'm doing everything I can to get younger and stay healthy and live a long life so I can play with my grandkids. It has only 5 calories, and it is non-intoxicating. It's enhanced with nature's neuroscience. How do I know that? Because I love science. Functional botanicals like lion's mane, reishi, and damiana. I think I'm saying that right. If not, Google it, and you can correct me when you see me. And I feel good about serving it at a party. It's something everyone can enjoy. Please visit littlesaints.com to explore their cocktails, and don't forget to use the code Don't Listen to get 15% off your first order. Say it with me. Little Saints, a real cocktail experience without the alcohol. Little Saints products are non-alcoholic. Functional ingredients are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any condition.
Next we've got a question from Martha, and she has some thoughts on manners. Let's hear her message now.
Mandy and Catherine, I absolutely love your videos, and I wish my parents were still alive today because I would do it with them. I'm 57 years old. My name is Martha Zeman. My issue is what happened to please in the world. I work at a bookstore, a local independent female-owned bookstore, and I find that people say thank you still, but they don't say please, which really bothers me, but I am letting it go as much as possible. And when people say thank you to me, I say, instead of you're welcome, I'm saying it's my pleasure. And that has helped me get a better attitude and not be all bitchy about them not saying please. So anyway, that's my thing. But I really would love to know your thoughts on what's up with the lack of please in the world. And I'm really, really, really excited about this podcast.
Martha, it's been my pleasure to hear you this morning. And if I could please ask my wife to give us the pleasure of her response to your pleasant question. I could only thank you for bringing it up, and hope that everyone who's listening will please enjoy the pleasurable response of my beautiful wife.
Martha, I am so with you about the lack. It's just not manners. It's bigger than that. I think it's a whole generation that's been raised on screens, got done in by COVID. You don't have to say please or thank you or recognize a machine. You know, I am with you on this. I go crazy. If somebody, I find a lot
also,
of...
a little note, I don't think she was just saying it's younger people. I think she was finding it's across the board.
Across the boards? Well, I'm curious about that, Martha, because I find definitely younger people, if I go into a store, it's not that they don't say, I say, hi, how are you? And they kind of maybe hear me, and then I'll repeat it. Sometimes I'll say, hi, how is your day going? And they'll look at me and go, oh, okay, great. Can I find such and such? Yeah, it's over there. And they'll wave sort of vaguely in a direction, and I'll go wandering around, and I'll come back, and I'm saying, I'm sorry. I'm confused about which aisle or what. Could you help me?
Where's
please?
the celery?
Yeah. I mean, I think it is a problem.
So you're saying you're still a current practitioner of
I am a
please
practitioner of manners with my grandchild, with my children, with my husband, with myself. And it is an irritant that scares me because I think it's a way of not recognizing our common humanity with each other in a public space when you're not an intimate person, but you're just sharing your neighborhood. And it's a way of diminishing the experience that you're having with each other. So I think it's great that you're saying it was my pleasure. I'm curious. I bet people look at you sometimes and go, does anybody ever go, huh? It was your pleasure? What?
Martha, I would like you to pay attention as this podcast proceeds to my learning curve of not interrupting my wife when she's speaking, which is something I've been working at for, just a short time, 47 years. And I'm getting better at it, but it is a manner that I have, even I find offensive when I do it far too often. And she sometimes does it to me, but I never am offended by her ill manners.
That's my personal favorite, is when you're both constantly interrupting each other.
Yeah.
That's when it's really easy.
That's when our listening,
complaining that the other one is
that's
interrupting.
called,
like now.
What is that called? Marital listening? I mean, it's really, we do not help each other practice our listening skills by doing that. We just sort of eradicate our listening skills.
No, but
I do think doing a podcast or talking on stage or something helps, or even if we record a video, because you are more aware of your behavior in front of an audience, and some part of your brain goes, I want to present the best part of my being.
Well, I've given up on that.
You interrupt less. Well, even if you think you've given up, some part of your brain, you interrupt less, you listen better. I mean, that's part of the fun of this.
Excuse me, I don't want to interrupt you, but we've all been exposed to watching these talking head news programs, or whatever you call these programs, where two people, 3, 4, or 5
yell at each other,
or talking at the same time, yelling at each other. It's just maddening. You just want to, go for the refrigerator and get the hell out of there.
Go for the refrigerator?
Go to the refrigerator.
What happens at the refrigerator?
You get some celery and something you can munch on.
Oh, yeah. And there's my father's idiosyncratic brain. The refrigerator is
the escape.
Escape. Oh, because it has the places to eat. Eat your
get away from what you're watching that's annoying you. Go to the refrigerator, get something to eat, like a stalk of celery.
Right. Yeah, I'm following.
I remember when I ran into Bill Moyers, I had the pleasure of meeting him like 10 years ago, and he was one of my favorite people. And I said, I missed you so much. Could you bring that show back? And he said, I would love to, but people can't have conversations anymore.
Huh.
They can't listen and respond. If you look at I Am Not Your Negro, the documentary about the great James Baldwin, it's fascinating. Cavett asks a question, and there's a big, huge pause, and the audience doesn't go, hoo, or anything. They're all quiet while Baldwin thinks. We were comfortable with people thinking, and then he responded.
I know.
And we have been totally trained out of that modality.
Let's see if we can have some of that on this podcast.
Okay.
If you ever have a thought and you're thinking and you see your partner thinking, don't feel the need to jump in.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Let them think. And one of my favorite things that Dad ever did in the press, it was like CBS Sunday Morning or something. Somebody's asking you a question, and they're like, what? Like, how do you, I don't know, have a positive attitude, or some question? And you said, well, let me think. And then you literally...
And they waited. They didn't edit it out.
It was the most incredible
that.
editing decision I've seen in a mainstream news piece.
I remember that.
Dad literally just thought for like 90 seconds.
Like a lot of people do.
Yeah. And the interviewer was just standing there. And then he said, I don't know. It was.
But they didn't cut it out.
They didn't cut it out. It's literally my favorite clip of you in anything.
So this is great, Martha.
And they weren't in a hurry. That's
what you get.
Being in a hurry.
Yeah, that's what you get if you're a famous guy. People might sit there and listen and wait for you for 90 seconds,
to say,
and then it'll
know.
be charming if you say you don't know. Most of us don't have people just waiting for us for 90 seconds.
But I want to say that
Really?
I love what Martha's question inspired, because not only did it inspire us agreeing with her about bringing back a level of interaction that can be called manners or politeness, but it's really recognizing your common humanity, but also the idea of taking time to think, taking time for thought, practicing that kind of nuance and patience, and not thinking like a friggin' machine where you click and then that's it.
Thanks, Martha.
Thank you, Martha.
Thank you, Martha. Thank you.
I really...
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
You guys can put your headphones in when you're ready. And we are going to try something new today. It's called Call a Friend. And it's someone who's going to join us, and we're going to say hi to them, and then they're going to hear the question from a listener with us and help us talk about that question.
So it's three of us responding to the question.
So hi,
four. You're
hi, friend. Are you there? Hello, friend.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? They don't know who
Mandy?
I am.
Yeah, that's William. It's William.
Can Bill see us?
Bill
Yes,
can see
I
you.
can see you.
Yes.
Hello, Mandy.
Really?
Hi,
Hey, Bill.
Catherine.
Oh my.
So
oh my
this,
God.
this is our dear friend Bill Gerber, amazing individual, human being, and
Old dear friend.
old dear friend Bill has had
With a young
ton
heart.
of varied experience as a professional. He's been on Broadway as a song and dance man. He's been an interior designer. He's
The best I know.
a Broadway producer and a documentary film
Also the
producer
best.
and a man of many hats. And
One of the greatest cooks on the planet, and one of the
thank you,
greatest,
Mandy.
but even more important, one of the greatest friends. And I'm not just whistling Dixie.
one of
And
the
a
greatest friends, one of the
tremendous
greatest
father.
partners, one of the greatest dog dads.
Yeah, his dog Gary.
Yeah.
Okay,
A great friend.
Stop.
He's gonna
No,
hang
Bill,
up.
this is the whole segment. We
Yeah.
just talked.
Oh, no.
How you doing today, Bill?
I'm doing okay. I'm sitting here with a bottle of water and a cup of coffee, and
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right, good.
Hey,
how-
Join the
didn't
club.
Bring water.
How long have you guys known Bill?
I've known Bill the longest. I've known you, William. Didn't we figure out it was 50 years
Yeah.
recently?
Yeah, we've known each other at least 50 years.
At least 50.
Well, I met
Actually,
him in
it's more.
'78, right when we met,
Yeah,
right?
sorry,
No,
honey.
it was in the
I win.
70s. Keaton
Yeah,
introduced us.
Yeah.
I think we can say 40 to 60 years.
You
ago.
got it.
No,
You're
I think.
safe.
Yeah. Okay. It's about 52 years.
Do you remember when you met me, Bill?
I met you. Actually, Gideon, I do. I do remember when I met you. You didn't speak at the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You maybe
So much
you
has
maybe
changed.
cried
Yeah.
or smiled.
Well, I'm smiling now because
Okay.
Bill's
Hi,
on
Ian.
the phone with us.
Yeah.
And let's have a listen to this question from one of our friends out there. I'm gonna read it for us, okay?
Yeah.
So it says, "Hi, Mandy and Catherine, and Bill.
Yeah. Okay.
My name is Neil, and I have a question for you guys.
Neil.
But I do want to first say, Mandy, I've been a huge fan of your work ever since I saw Elmo in Grouchland as a kid. So 3 years ago, I graduated high school, and this year I'm deciding to go to college to study theater. And it was a weird decision for me to come to just because there's so much going on right now that needs our collective focus and attention. And part of me thinks that I could or should be doing something else over the next 4 years or focusing on a more important topic than theater. But acting is my passion, and it is what I want to do. So my question for you guys is, what are your thoughts on the role of art of any kind, performance, movies, theater, etc., in our current society? Thank you, guys.
Good question.
Yeah, thank
Very
you
good
for that question.
Yeah.
Bill,
I'm going to let Bill go first.
yeah, I'd love, Bill, what's your advice to Neil about all this?
Well,
What comes up for you?
what comes up for me is that art is the only place we have freedom right now, is what comes up to me. And you're free to do whatever you want with art, because it's your voice, and express your voice, express your thoughts, don't censor yourself, be who you are as much as possible in the creative form you choose. If it's acting that you want to do, then the first thing to do is see everything and volunteer. Volunteer at all the nonprofits, because they all need help, especially now. So that would be a first good step to take.
You mean the nonprofits with acting and in the arts, or
Be an usher, sell merchandise, stand behind the ticket booth, just be in the atmosphere of the theater.
I love that.
I couldn't agree more with my friend that I don't think art has ever been more important to practice. Follow your passion. There was a great educator that said to parents, you're very lucky if your kid has a passion. You don't get to choose it. If theater is what your passion is, go for it. But think very originally about how to practice it in these very strange times. You will find like-minded people when you study it, and talk to them about how you can create theater art in all sorts of ways that haven't even been imagined before, whether it's on the streets or in the lobby of the Grand Central Theater. There was that wonderful art form that was around for a while where this group, what was it called again? Where all of a sudden you'd be in a public space and people would be doing these amazing things.
You mean
improv everywhere? Improv everywhere.
Improv everywhere. It was incredible. Do you remember those?
This is kind of the double-edged sword of like technology. It's democratized like the creative ability to put your thing out anywhere. Anybody can record themselves. Anybody can post it for the whole world to see. And on the other side, people aren't going to live things. We're not going to movie theaters because everybody's watching things alone.
They're not in community together.
Box. Right. What comes up for you, Dad, with this?
I heard in your note that you were talking about the world and things that are concerning to you about the world right now, and asking, is the theater a viable possibility, alternative to other possibilities? I think what you were saying in your note is that you wanted to connect with humanity and you wanted to make a difference.
And with what humanity needs.
What humanity needs, absolutely. And I heard in your first comment before you got to the theater that I think this guy's going to be a politician. And then I thought to myself, we need politicians like this person, because the politicians in many areas, some we have are good and caring and under threat in different ways, but we need young people to go into leadership for our cities, states, our country, other countries in the world, to make a difference, to make changes that will give people the freedoms that this country was founded on, and that people came to our country to embrace and have. And we need people who care about connecting. And I don't know, personally, for me, a better venue than the live theater, because we are in community together in that room, in that space, in that theater, in that auditorium, and we breathe the same air. Sometimes you get COVID, but sometimes you get ideas, and you get strength, and you get the power to understand that I too can have the courage to make the changes that a character in the play made that saves someone's life, or the whole message of the play. I'm going to take that out into my life, into the world. If you go see a great playwright like Arthur Miller and you see Death of a Salesman, if you're paying attention and you're a father, you go out and you call your son and you talk to him and you listen to him and you learn to listen. I'd say in the theater, one of the great tasks and gifts of being a communicator in any area, but particularly in the theater, is not what you say, but how you listen. And I love you for wanting to go into the communication arts. I wish you well. We need you and everyone else who has that dream. And the only mistake you or anyone listening can make, if you have the dream or the desire to communicate with others in any area of existence, is not to try. Try, and try again. And if it doesn't work out, then come up with plan B. But don't make plan B before you try plan A. And I'm there to applaud you and cheerlead you for the whole ride.
And I hope, Neil, that you see from what William has said and Mandy and me, that if anybody thinks theater is unnecessary or superficial or just an ego thing, it isn't. It's one of the oldest arts around. I also want to say, Neil, you're the only person that as a kid watched Elmo and Grouchland and found that inspiring as opposed to terrifying.
Are you kidding me? We get
No.
messages all the time.
No, there was kids
Well, you
that
don't read
wouldn't
them.
read with
Just
Dad.
from this podcast, we've gotten
Oh,
countless
never mind,
messages.
Neil. I'm off on that.
Elmo
I'm
and
just...
Grouchland changed my life. Elmo and Grouchland is my biggest aspiration. The way you took
I tell-
Elmo's blankie, I
Oh my
never.
God.
Can I tell Neil
got
my
over
Elmo
it.
Grouchland story that I find embarrassing but true? And it's about communicating and how neurotic I am to connect and how important it is to me. I had a scene in Elmo and Grouchland with just Elmo and me, and I felt I was off in that scene, and I felt I wasn't focused and I wasn't listening and responding the way I wished to be with Elmo. And we finished it, and I went to the trailer, and I was ready to kill myself. I just thought I failed Elmo, and I seriously, I'm not kidding you, I called my therapist to talk to my therapist about the fact that I let Elmo down, and I can't let it go. And my therapist said, just stay with the discomfort.
Yeah,
You know?
your therapist
didn't
said,
say-
your
he
therapist
didn't
said, I
say
get
it's a
these kind of
puppet.
Elmo calls all the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And also,
But you know, Elmo's okay.
so William, it's interesting. What was your trajectory from your singing and dancing
Well, I've
days
been
to everything
doing it
else?
since I've been a kid. You know, I started with tap dancing when I was 7 years old. So it's always been a part of my life, performing and being in the arts. And when I was a kid, I was the only boy in the dance class of about 20 girls. So
Wow.
naturally, I always got a solo number, which was very intoxicating. And that kind of put the bug in my ear. I got a lot of attention. And as you both know, I like attention.
There's a great video of Bill and Lily Tomlin doing the Christmas special or
Yeah.
something or whatever the
It's
fuck
I
it
did
was.
Lily.
Anyway, Bill, keep going.
I
Tell
did
us.
Lily Tomlin's first special, first time I was ever on television, with Richard Pryor and Alan Alda. And that was quite an experience. It was the same year that my son Max was born. Actually, it was in the same month. So I was running from, we did it at CBS Television City. I hate to mention CBS because they took Colbert off the air, and I'm not looking
screw
at
them.
CBS ever again. So
No.
cut this out of the thing. I don't even want anybody to
No,
hear.
don't worry. No, shame on CBS.
Shame.
And
Yeah.
thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Shame on them.
Shame on them. The most important voice on television, they obliterate. He and Jon Stewart. They can't
He'll
get
come
it,
back.
Jon Stewart, though.
They'll be back
they'll be
in
back.
some other place
I
that's
agree.
that's the more appropriate home for them and for all of us. You will not silence us, no matter what. Voices like Neil and Stephen and yours and all of ours will be heard. I promise you.
The thing that's so
So
great
Bill-
about the theater, there is no censorship. The artist,
Right.
the artist rules. The writer rules, and that's what we need more of.
Any last thoughts here for Neil before we say goodbye?
For Neil, any thoughts? I think just be brave. Be brave. Don't censor yourself. Don't be afraid, because everybody's afraid. And you're in a community of people who are all afraid. So everybody feels exactly the way you do.
That's great, William.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Bill. That's
embrace
true.
fear. I'm going to see you soon, William.
Yes,
I can't wait for
I know,
our date.
I can't wait. We have a
I just
date.
got so excited. I just spilled my coffee on myself because I was excited about our date.
Well, there
I'm
you
so
go.
happy
Bill,
to see the two of you.
We love you.
I love
Love
you.
you,
We
Bill.
love you back.
We'll see you soon. Thanks for
talk
doing
to you
this.
soon.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
My pleasure.
Guys, in this last, we get to our last part, just a little hang time part, where we take a break from the intensity of the world. And off Neil's comment, wanted to talk theater for a second. Curious if I asked you guys what's a terrible experience in the theater that comes to mind, or your best experience in the theater, or a great one, which one would you pick? What would come to the top?
Philip Seymour Hoffman in Death of a Salesman that was Mike Nichols' production, where he was so brilliant he didn't have to invent anything new.
Oh, wow.
He did it just the same, and I thought that was one of the most extraordinary movie. And Dad and I saw it together. We'd always sort of fantasized doing that play together, and we both looked at each other and said we don't have to.
Wow, none of the great ones involved her husband. What can you do,
Well,
Dad?
I was going to
Be
say,
What can you do?
I was going to say Sunday in the Park with George, but it seemed a little obnoxious.
No, Ma, you had your chance. Sorry.
You blew
Okay,
it.
well.
And you'll pay for it.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Yeah, a terrible or a great experience that...
I would never say publicly. I'd save it to you or Mom
Yeah.
privately. I would never say publicly anything terrible because anytime
I mean, it's terrible in your own experience, not like talk shit about
I won't
other
say
people.
no. If I'm saying it's terrible in my experience, it's hurtful to the
People you
theater
worked with.
makers.
Yeah.
And being a theater maker myself and being out there, and that's what I love to do. I have my difficult moments. I have my tough nights, and I live in a glass house. And I'm not about to throw a stone at it. Great moments that I've had, my goodness, seeing Sammy Davis Jr. And with Anthony Newley in a dinner tent theater in a suburb of Chicago. I was in high school. Somebody drove me. I didn't drive yet. And I just looked at that and I went, God, I'd love to do that. And then I've just seen countless moments. Patti LuPone, my dear friend, when Kath and I were in London doing something, I was filming something there, and we went to see her in Les Mis. I could figure it out if we knew. No, it was Les Mis. We saw her in company too, but this was early on in our life. She was in Les Mis, and she sang the one song she had, and I remember Mom was sitting on my left, just like she is now, and I just started to bawl. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't talk. I just watched her, and I just couldn't hold back my emotions. I was so moved. And then she looked at me, and she just calmed me down because there's more show to go on. I was desperately trying to keep it quiet and not disturb people around me. And I remember saying to her, I love this form. And that was as good as it ever gets. Even just remembering it, I can never forget it. She did it that moment, and many times after, as good as it gets. And when you see something you love, and you see someone give it everything they have, whatever area of life it is, I think it's everything that you could ask for in this world, where people don't give in to mediocrity, and they give it everything they have, win, lose, or draw. And that's what I live for. And she gave it to me. And I could probably go on and on and on with these memories. But those are the ones that hit me first. And thanks for asking.
And I think those of us who've had the privilege of getting to witness a moment like that, or a show like that, or a scene like that, or a performance, once it's in you, you'll keep searching and chasing that for the rest of your experience as an art maker or a consumer. You're like, how can I find that again? Because it's so powerful.
It's a natural high. And it's absolutely identical medically or chemically to the way people get addicted to things that are negative for their existence. But it is as addictive. When you see someone be truthful. Try that word out, folks. Truthful in this climate. And you see them be truthful in a way that stands out, and you have no words to explain it. It changes your life.
If I ever meet anybody, it's like a litmus test. If somebody loved Sunday in the Park with George, I know I'm going to get along with them. And if somebody didn't, it's goodbye. Because that, for me, who didn't really like musical theater.
Are you kidding me? You would not keep investigating a relationship with an individual who didn't like a show that your husband was in.
Yeah, it wasn't just that my husband was in. It was one of the great musicals I've ever seen.
She hated musical comedies. Yeah. She said, I hate that form. And she picked me. This is not the smartest bulb on the block.
What musical comedy have you done?
Yeah, not musical comedy. He did falsettos.
That was pretty That had a
And
lot of
super
heart. That
kind,
wasn't
yeah.
just comedy.
What
I
musical
did Funny Thing
comedy?
Happen on the Way to the Forum that Steve Sondheim wrote
that the only
when I was in the
musical comedy?
Creed Repertory Theater.
Is that the only musical
Well, that's
comedy?
all called musical comedy.
No, it
It's
isn't.
called
It's called musical theater.
Okay, this
Oh, it
segment
is?
is called
Oh.
Teaching Mandy About His Own Profession.
Yeah, it is. I thought it was musical.
This was
It's
so
musical
helpful to
comedy
Anne.
if it's a musical comedy. What am I saying? How
Look,
am
we're
I?
out of time.
Well, that's our show for this week, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
And remember, don't listen to us.
So please.
We want to hear from you. More
Okay.
questions, stories, advice, recipes, jokes, DIY projects,
Opinions,
annoying things.
perplexities.
DIY.
DIY. Do you know what that stands
Do
for?
do it yourself.
Or
Very good.
DRY, whatever that means.
Do it
You can
yourself.
send an email to askmandyandcatherine@gmail.com or check out our socials for an easy way to send us a voice note. Thanks so much, and
I'm tired. I'm going to take a nap.
we're going to take a group nap now. That's what we do. We do these
Yeah.
shows, and then we take a nap.
Group nap to recover.
Have a great day.
Or
as
night, if you're
or night.
And as my
listening to
friend
this
Mark
at night.
always said, have fun.
Don't Listen to Us is a Lemonada Media original, hosted by Mandy Patinkin, Catherine Grody, and Gideon Grody Patinkin. Created by Katrina Onstad, Debbie Pacheco, and Gideon Grody Patinkin. Executive producers are Catherine Grody, Gideon Grody Patinkin, Mandy Patinkin, Katrina Onstad, Debbie Pacheco, Jessica Cordova Kramer, and Stephanie Whittles Wax. Our engineer is Ryan Derringer of Welterweight Sound. Video and audio production by Mark Whiteway of Bellows Media. If you haven't subscribed to Lemonada Media Premium yet, now's the perfect time. You can hear Don't Listen to Us completely ad-free. Plus, you'll unlock exclusive bonus content like behind-the-scenes conversations, questions so weird they didn't make it on air, Becky the Dog shenanigans, and more. Just tap the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts, head to lemonadapremium.com to subscribe on any other app, or listen ad-free on Amazon Music with your Prime membership. That's lemonadapremium.com. Don't miss out. Hi everyone, Gideon here. Mandy and Catherine are going to be at the 92nd Street Y in New York on Thursday, January 22nd at 7:30 p.m. They'll be on stage talking with the one and only Faith Saley from CBS Sunday Morning about our podcast, Don't Listen to Us, about their marriage, about New York, and about anything else that they can think of. You can get tickets to see the talk in person or online by going to 92ny.org. That's 92ny.org.